What's up, guys? So I get a lot of questions and comments regarding what to look out for with the Raptor, issues, things that go bad. I'm going to break down just a list that I've compiled of some of the most common issues that you will find with the Raptor. Anything outside of that goes wrong with it, it's just dumb luck. If you're looking at purchasing a Raptor, this should clear up a lot of questions on what you're looking for. The first thing we're going to talk about, cam phasers. If you don't know by now that the 3.5 EcoBoost motor has cam phaser issues, you're living under a rock. You're just not a Ford person and you're looking to come over to a Ford vehicle. Anyways, it's not the end of the world, but if you're kind of worried about the cam phasers, the best thing I could tell you is make sure to listen to the vehicle on a cold start or purchase a warranty. If you go back to some of my older videos, I have a video breaking down how to purchase a warranty for your vehicle, and you're going to want to purchase a Ford warranty. But anyways, what happens is, over time, and I've seen this happen to trucks 30, 40,000 miles. If you think you're going to purchase a vehicle with 30, 40,000 miles and you're in the clear, guess again. What you're going to be wanting to listen for is when you cold start the vehicle, there's no oil in the top of the head, and then it starts for like 2 to 3 seconds upon starting, and you hear just like this clanking diesel rattling noise. More than likely, that's the cam phasers. Now, some of them do it worse than the others. Some of them just, it's horrendous. And some of them are not that bad, and it's not bad to keep driving the vehicle that way. It's all in if you want to hear that noise. Preferably with a vehicle like this that you're spending, $40, $50, $60,000, you don't really want to hear a rattle coming out of the engine. So for instance, my truck, I have the warranty. When I cold start my truck, I don't hear any cam phaser noise. Now what I did is when I purchased it, I messaged the dealer and told him, hey, send me a video of the truck on a cold start. Listen to it. The only thing is they could send you a video of a cold start, but they started it 2 seconds beforehand just to get a little oil up into the top of the head. Just be wary of that. Or what they'll do is they'll try to start the truck and have it like warmed up for you at the dealership. It's a crapshoot. If you're looking to buy a Raptor, just buy the warranty, because that way if you do have cam phaser issues, that pays for it in itself. Is it bad to drive or keep driving on the truck with the bad cam phasers? No, I've seen and heard people driving worn out cam phasers over 150,000 miles, and it's problem free. It didn't blow their motor. About the third quarter of 2019, that's when Ford updated the cam phaser, and then obviously the mid to late 2019 and 2020s got the newer updated cam phaser, but I've still heard a couple people having issues with that. So, and then you might ask, well, how do I know if the used truck I'm buying has had the cam phasers replaced? You really don't, but the one thing you can do is pull up a Carfax report, try to see if it's had any type of vehicle maintenance. Like, yeah, it'll show you oil changes, but one Raptor that I had looked at actually showed that they had done some sort of valve job to it. So I called that place that did all the work, gave them the VIN. They wouldn't give me, obviously, the person who owned its information, but I gave them the VIN, and they were able to tell me that they had done a full valve job, aka probably the cam phasers. But just keep in mind, when you go through the Carfax, if you do see some sort of work was done but it doesn't list exactly what was done, call that dealership and give them the VIN. More than likely, just tell them what you're looking for, and they'll probably tell you. The second thing that you might hear, and if it's not cam phaser noise, it's wastegate rattle noise. This is going to happen all the time when the vehicle's running. So sometimes a lot of people have issues with trying to detect if they have cam phaser noise or wastegate rattle noise. But the wastegate rattle noise, it isn't really that annoying, but it kind of is. And I've heard a lot of people saying that they keep taking their trucks in and they're just not getting the problem fixed. And the only thing that I've found that actually seems like it'll work is you can buy a couple of springs. I'll post a link down below from Lowe's. I think it's like a 2-pack, but basically you connect that to your wastegate and just onto a piece nearby. I'll also post a video of how to fix that. And basically it's like a $5 spring. It just barely puts enough tension on it just to help keep it closed a little more. And it basically eliminates that wastegate rattle. I don't think that's the biggest issue. So that's kind of a simple fix for something that's not even that big of a deal. The third thing you're going to want to be on the lookout for is the transmission shifting. What that entails, when I drove my truck, I didn't put it in sport mode. I just always kept it in normal mode, and it shifts perfectly butter smooth in normal mode. However, when I put my truck into sport mode, I get these kind of like harder shifts. And it's weird because it seems like I get harder shifting when I just first put the truck into sport mode and it's like cold. Now these have the learning transmission, so there's kind of like 3 things that you can do about this. So what I would recommend is just driving the truck in normal mode. If it shifts fine, you're probably fine. Sport mode, it does kind of shift a little hard, like I said, at the beginning, and then it's kind of like regular shifting. But it's a learning transmission, and one of the things you can do is you could either A, take it to the dealership, or B, buy the adapter, hook it up with ForeScan, and then reset the adaptive shift tables. This basically resets the learning transmission. I've heard that you can do that, but then I've heard over time it could end up happening again. So that's one way to try to fix that. The second thing that could technically be wrong in the transmission is the CDF drum. So the original CDF drum was a poor design. It'll cause like flaring between shifts and kind of banging. There has been a new part to solve the issue, but it's kind of a big fix, and you're gonna want to make sure you do have the warranty to have that fixed. The third thing that I've heard nothing but like excellent reviews on is putting a tune on the truck. It seems like a lot of the guys on the forums like Goose Tuned, and basically when you get your truck tuned, it gets rid of all those hard shifting points. I don't even know what it entails because I don't have the tune on my truck. Maybe eventually, but I've heard that that basically wipes away any hard shifting. I've noticed even just in the mornings, like when I first start my truck and I pull out of my garage and I put it in drive, it even kind of just like lunges when you put it into drive, and that's not normal. So check it in normal mode, then check it in sport mode. I just believe that if it's shifting fine in normal mode, but sport mode it's not, that's not something with the transmission. That's something either with resetting the adaptive shift tables or possibly doing the tune to the truck to smooth out the transmission. So the fourth thing to look out for is the IWE vacuum hubs. And basically, those are just these pieces that go onto your hubs. And if it's bad, for one, it's going to be intermittent. But if it's bad, it's just going to make like a grinding noise. And you'll hear it. The parts themselves are like $150, but if you don't replace it, you could end up going into further hub damage. That's something that's not as big of an issue, and more than likely, you're not going to end up hearing it at the dealership, because I think if you stick your truck in like 4-wheel drive and then stick it back to 2-wheel, it'll get rid of the noise temporarily. That's just something else that if you do end up eventually down the road hearing maybe like a grinding noise, that's potentially what it is.
I'm living with ghosts. I feel your presence everywhere I go. I live in the shadows that still.
So if you're looking at purchasing a 2017 or a 2018 Raptor, 2017 into part of some of the 2018s have the plastic oil pan. Now, it's not a very wide known issue, but there have been people that have said that their plastic oil pans have warped over time and they had to have it replaced. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to just see the oil pan because there's so many skid plates on the Raptor. So just do your due diligence. Maybe get the vehicle inspected, and when you're having the inspection, have them look at it. Or if you're obviously pretty good at spotting those things, get under the vehicle best you can. Check to see if there's any leaks. One of the 2018s I looked at, it had a breakdown of all the parts that the dealership replaced, and they replaced the oil pan. So that right there told me that the 17 and some of the 18s do have that oil pan issue. I wouldn't let that scare you from purchasing a 17 or 18. That's also something to be on the lookout for. The next thing to be on the lookout for, this really isn't an issue. This is just normal wear and tear. If you purchase a Raptor with over 50,000 miles, you're going to want to look into getting your suspension either A, replaced, B, rebuilt. Rebuilt's the cheaper way. So basically, the Raptors come with Fox shocks. 2017, the 2018s come with the blue ones. 2019, 2020 comes with the electronic live valve. They state that after about 50,000 miles, they tend to be a little more worn out. They don't ride as smooth. There's several companies that they do like a shock exchange program. So basically what they'll do is, I think it's around $1,200 said and done, but you're gonna end up paying like a core charge. So basically they'll send you the new shocks, and then you'll send back in your old ones, and then you'll get that core charge back. I've heard really good things about the rebuilt shocks, and I've heard that they make your truck ride night and day difference. I wouldn't say this is an issue. This is just normal wear and tear. So if you do look into purchase a Raptor with over 50,000 miles, and you maybe think that the ride quality isn't what it could be, or just rides a little rough, that's more than likely what it is. The other wear and tear item that I have seen actually several people talking about are the leaf springs. And that's gonna be these guys right behind your shock. And basically those, what I've seen, they get like flat. So there should be some like curve, like roundness to them, kind of like how mine have. They kind of have that roundness to them. But basically from over time, they'll end up like flattening out. And I don't think this is something that's covered under warranty, but don't quote me on that. But again, something else to just be on the lookout for, because leaf springs are kind of pricey. A lot of guys just end up upgrading to some of the aftermarket ones, which are in the $1,000 to $1,200 price range. Not an issue that would make me stop from purchasing a vehicle. So those are the couple wear and tear items that you could have with having a vehicle over 50,000 miles. Leaf springs, I don't really know the mileage to be exact. I think that's just kind of depends on what you're doing with it. But my truck has 71,000 miles now. I haven't rebuilt my shocks. I'm sure if I had them rebuilt, it would ride even better than it already does. It still rides pretty smooth with 70,000. My leaf springs are still good, but just be on the lookout for those two things. And the last thing that you're going to want to be on the lookout for if you're purchasing a truck with the moonroof. The deal with the moonroof is make sure it operates fully and make sure it's smooth. And what I mean by that is when you push your button to open it up, it should just be smooth and it shouldn't make any loud noises. One of the Raptors that I test drove, the minute I opened it, it just made like a loud pop noise. It scared me, it scared the sales guy, and he didn't really say much on that because he didn't even know. He's a sales guy, he's just trying to sell a used truck. But if it makes a pop noise or it's not smooth, don't rule out that it's just completely bad. It might just really need a good cleaning, and then it also needs lubricated. If you do look at a vehicle and it makes the pop noise, tell the dealership, tell them to clean it, lubricate it. It needs to be smooth. It does not need to be making a pop noise upon opening it. That's a list of all of the issues to be on the lookout for when purchasing a Gen 2 Raptor. Now, keep in mind, it's not like you're going to have these issues. It's just some trucks, you know, it's a crapshoot that they have these issues. So the other thing that I would tell you to be on the lookout for, and this isn't an issue, but some people want their truck tuned and some people don't. I do, but I have the warranty and I just get worried that by having it, it's going to void my warranty that I paid for. When you purchase a vehicle from whatever dealership, they don't know if it's tuned unless maybe the person who traded the truck in told them. For the most part, these people don't know. So a Raptor that I test drove at another dealership, when I drove it, I'd already driven a couple other ones, but when I drove this one, the throttle was just extra punchy. Like the minute you hit it, it just was like there. That's a sure tell sign that the truck is tuned. And it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but the only things that kind of came across my mind was, what did this person do with the truck? They also had some of the LED lights up on the hood. So it just kind of made me wonder if the truck had been off-roaded. It's what it's for, but I preferably want my truck kind of not messed with. So again, if the truck just has that punchy / instant gas pedal feel, it's probably tuned, and you need to A, tell the dealer, or B, be fine with it. But if you're looking to get your truck warrantied or you purchase a warranty, the dealer needs to take care of that, because if not, down the road, you're going to go try to do some warranty work to your truck, and they're going to be like, oh, well, you have a tune on it, so we're not going to warranty it. Even though they could have sold you a warranty, with the truck being tuned from them is kind of the way that you could get them to make sure it's covered. That's everything I can think of off the top of my head to verify, to make sure that's good on the truck upon purchasing it. There's little things that could go wrong. Like for instance, when I purchased my truck, I had a side marker LED out, and then I also, one of my rear tail lights, just the LED, it's like halfway kind of like faded out, and basically that's going to need replaced, but it's going to be replaced under warranty. At the end of the day, just buy one of these trucks, check it out, get a 40 SP warranty for it, and you will be set up for success. That way, if you do have issues with your truck, it's covered and you don't have to worry about it. So that's all I got for today. Wrigley, you got anything? He's got nothing. But like always, if you guys have any questions, comments, hit me up down below. Drop this video a like, as it helps me and the Wrigley Man out. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.